The first time he submitted a policy, he issued $23,700 within 30 days.
My wife and I, we wanted to sell her car, buy a camper, and travel the country and work from home.
What were you doing before selling insurance?
Florida. And then I was kind of like the stay-at-home dad for a few months, do all the cooking, take care of our son. Goal is 40K, yeah.
40K this month, that's the goal. I love it. All right, and we should be live. So awesome. Evan, welcome to We Are Insurance Agents. Awesome. Also, if you're just getting on now, let me know you're here. Let me know what state you're in. So throw in the comments, guys. If you're just getting on here, throw in the comments where you're at, where you're from. Let me know. You can hear us. Can you guys hear us? Let us know. Evan, how's it going, man?
It's going.
Awesome. Where are you located?
Poconos, Pennsylvania.
That's right. It's cold up there, isn't it?
Sure is. We got some slushy snow this morning.
Going to Missouri next week, and I didn't think about it. So it was like, Dave, it's gonna be really cold there. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? Because it's funny because I was supposed to go there, I guess last one, the winter before or something. I'm like, dude, I'm not going there when it's cold. I'm not doing that to myself anymore. But cool. All right, so we got some people on now. We got Pat Perry. She could hear us. So we got a very special person, Amber from Pennsylvania. She's on. Big fan of yours, I heard. So that's super awesome. Pat's in Indiana. Let's see here. All right, awesome, guys. All right, cool. So if you're just getting on now, I have Evan. Evan's gonna go over some amazing stuff, man. Evan is an absolute superstar. Evan just got his license. How long ago? And I feel like it hasn't been that long ago.
I got it on November 26th through the state, and then it took like 4 weeks for me to get the carriers that I write with. So it was like mid-December by the time I got really trying to write an app for the first time, mid-December.
So it's mid-February. So basically December, January, February. So what, 90 days you've been basically in the business, able to write business? 90 days, sound about right?
Yeah, I would say less than that, probably.
Less than 90 days. And wow, you've done so much in 90 days, guys. Who here has been in the business more than 90 days? If you've been in the business more than 90 days, put more. If you've been in the business less than 90 days, put less, right? Just get an idea who we're talking to. So Evan's first 30 days, and I love Evan. I asked him for some stats. And he's like me, wants to be super honest, doesn't want to mislead people, right? So he issued $23,700 within 30 days of first submission of policy. Right, because you gotta remember when you issue something, it's not like everything issues right away. Every carrier is a little bit different, right? But basically from like the gun, right? The first time he submitted a policy, he issued $23,700 within 30 days. So that is absolutely amazing stat right there. Who here wants to issue $23,000 over the next 30 days? The next 30 days, who wants to issue $23,000, right? Think about that. Who wants to issue $23,000 the next 30 days? Put a me in the chat if you want to that. And what I talked to Evan about is he's going to teach us how to do that. Some other really cool stats is, so that was his first 30 days. So you said basically the middle of December is when you got started, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's through the holidays, right? So that's Christmas, New Year's, right? When people don't work much.
Yeah, I didn't write my first policy until the first week of January, until the new
first
year.
week of January. Okay. So January. So basically January. Okay.
Yeah.
So January was last month, right? So January issued $23,000 in January. And then you said you already have over $17,800 of approved business for this month of February, which means you're already gonna blow away last month, right?
The goal is 40K, yeah.
40K this month. That's the goal. I love it. So yep. 40K issued. So we're gonna go over that. We're gonna go over the goal. We're gonna go over how to issue $23,000 in your first 30 days. We're gonna go over, what are some things you're doing to hit your goal of $40,000 issued this month? And then also another stat here: 11 approved apps this week for 12,000 plus this week. So this week, like Thursday this week, like you still got 3 days left of this week.
Yeah, Monday to Thursday.
Monday to Thursday, you already have $12,000 of submitted business.
Approved.
So we're gonna go over that. So we're gonna go over that too. So we got a lot of good things, guys. So we got absolute stud Evan on here. Evan just got his license. If you're just getting in, Evan's just getting started in this business. Literally didn't submit his first app till January, so that was literally like less than 45 days ago. Evan, what were you doing before selling insurance?
Flooring.
That's it. Yeah. Flooring. That's what I would have thought. We got to hire more floorers, right? Who would have known? Flooring. You know, it's funny you say that. So I had a construction company, and you know, we did a lot of floors, right? Everyone wanted. It was Louisiana. All the houses got flooded, and anyone that didn't have tile, the floors had to get ripped up, basically, right? Yep. So everybody wanted tile, right? Everyone wanted tile after that. So I had different tile teams, and we were laying so much tile, and I watched the grind. I watched, you know, on your knees all day, right? You know, getting it done, like carrying the tile, the boxes, like, and I look at that hard work. I'm like, man, if somebody can do that morning to night, right? 5, 6, 7 days a week, man, I feel like putting them on the phone selling insurance to people looking for insurance sounds like a really, really good trade-off. So apparently it was for you. So you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, my wife and I, we wanted to sell her car, buy a camper, and travel the country and work from home. And she was doing social media. She eventually found a life insurance gig. She's very ambitious and likes to try new things. So she got into it first. And then I was kind of like the stay-at-home dad for a few months while we were traveling. You know, I would take care of the campsite, take care of the trailer, the truck, do all the cooking, take care of our son. And she was making the money, you know, on social media. I was never a social media guy, never was a scroller, never had any kind of social media accounts really. So that was her way of making money. And I'm like, what can I do? I thought maybe coding. What can I do to make money from home? Kind of like whenever hours I want to work, right? So she got into selling life insurance, and then obviously that was a brand new thing for us. She did payroll before, but I never sold a thing. I mean, I was always a blue collar guy. Don't really like talking to people, long conversations on the phone, nothing like that. At least I didn't think I did. But anyway, she, you know, I was like, hey, maybe we'll split the work 50-50. You know, I'll get my license. I'll try it out. Then we can trade on and off, you know, watching the kid and taking care of the house versus, you know, the other person working, and we'll just split the responsibilities right down the middle. And then it was a pretty quick transfer. Well, then she ended up getting pregnant again somehow. And
somehow?
Yeah, somehow.
Yeah, nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I don't know. It just happened. And then so we kind of started thinking about our future and what that would look like. And obviously, anyone who has a newborn knows, you know, especially with a breastfeeding mom, you know, that's a lot more time from the mom than it is the dad. Sometimes there's nothing the father can do there. So we kind of made a decision to transition me full time into like being on the phone, doing all the outbound, you know, helping as many families as we can that way. And she's doing more of same thing with the social media, you know, just kind of promoting everything and, you know, telling our story along the way and just kind of attracting attention that way and getting some traction with her social media stuff. And I'm the physical laborer now of the life insurance. I'm doing, you know, the cold calling and stuff like that.
Awesome. Are you cold calling or are you calling leads?
Well, they are leads. I first started It definitely feels like cold calling sometimes. When I first started getting leads, I went with the cheap ones, because,
That's what everyone
well,
does. Thinks that's the way to do
yeah,
it for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all the same, right? Like, what's the difference? It's a
Yeah.
number and a
That's,
name.
yeah.
So I got the cheapest ones I could find, and that was in December. Didn't even have my carriers yet, but I actually wrote one policy in the end of December. I used her account for that because I still didn't have my writing numbers, but I was on the phone anyway, just trying to get my feet wet. And 150 leads in December. Sold one at the very, very, very last 2 days of December. Maybe talked to 15 people out of those 150, calling them every day, multiple times a day. So that was pretty discouraging. Didn't know where I was going, didn't know what was going to happen, but I was already all in. I already had a CRM. I didn't have a dialer yet because I was waiting to get kind of like enough leads to outpace, my hand dialing. But then once January hit, my wife is big on goals. She's always telling me, write goals down, make goals. What are your goals? So I said, okay, January I'm going to go full force into life insurance. And I made a goal of 75 policies in the first 75 days. Is like my version of 75 hard. So I upgraded my leads. I started paying a little more for leads from a different source, and buying instead of getting 25 a week, I started getting 75 a week. So I tripled my, my lead input, and the new leads, spending more and getting more. I was receiving inbound calls like crazy. I couldn't keep up with it. That was giving me so much more time on the phone, doing presentations, getting comfortable talking to people, learning the lingo, learning how to deal with objections, learning how to fill out the different applications with different carriers. I mean, there's obviously a huge learning curve. I mean, you just can't know everything before you get, you dive in and you do it. So yeah, I don't remember what your question was at this point, but that's how
You answered it. You
that's how
answered
the
it.
first 45 days went. And yeah, I mean, after the first week of January, I was pretty comfortable. Just talking to those first 75 leads. I mean, I sold enough of them and talked to enough of them where I was just really just building my confidence. And the confidence is like pushing away the fear, because if you're confident, you can't really be fearful, and vice versa. If you're fearful, you're kind of just lacking the confidence and lacking the experience to overcome any kind of obstacle, I guess, in this business.
I love it, man. I love it. Let's I'm gonna go through the comments real fast here. Make sure we catch everyone that gave us a little bit of love. Michelle's on from Pennsylvania. Pat's from Indiana. Of course, Amber's here. Dap, what up, DP? Dap, my buddy Dap's on this call. He's been in the insurance industry forever. Dap, have you ever heard success like this before, man? Throw it in the comments, man. Let's see. Dante, he wants to make more. We got Steve-O in here from Miami. What's up, Steve-O, man? Glad you're here. Barbara, Pat, glad you're here. Michelle, glad you're here. RC, I'm sorry if I butchered your name. Welcome, glad you're here. Marianne, Barbara, they're all laughing. Even Amber's confused how she got pregnant. It looks like she said somehow with a with a smiley face. Dana, I love it. Right, 75 and 75. I love that. 75 policies in 75 days. Amazing goals. Cedric says, let's go, big dog. And Marian's talking about confidence is the key. So many things, man, already. The first thing that comes to my head, I'm always thinking about like helping people build businesses. And I also think about laying tile. And I know you weren't laying tile by yourself. Tile people know tile people. Are they all working on getting their insurance license, or they want to continue working on their knees for the next 20 years? What's the question? What's the answer on that one?
I feel like a lot of people just stick with what they know. Not a lot of people are changing courses to a completely different industry. I mean, I know you have, and so have I. But and when I say I was laying floor, I was a general contractor.
Okay.
Same thing. Had my own business. had my own employee full time. It wasn't just like I was like, I started working for someone else, yes, and then I learned it, and then we slowly. He saw it coming. We slowly, everything was open. We slowly split apart, and I started my own business because I had bigger ambitions than just getting a paycheck every week from someone else.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. Awesome, man. Yeah, I feel like that's the other thing I always think too. Like people that have businesses in the trades, I feel like they could build agencies. I feel like if you could do that, if you could deal with all the moving parts that go along with that, and you manage people and you manage jobs, supplies, pricing, like all that stuff, I figured like it's a no-brainer for you to build an 8-figure insurance agency. Like that's, to me, that was probably one of my biggest training lessons of life I've had is, owning a construction company and having to manage all those different things. To me, insurance is easy. It's find good people you want to work with, find a good lead source so people have good leads to sell, and find good products to sell. And it's just really work on those 3 things, right? And then I think the other one is just oral ethics and morals, right? Always pick people over money, and that's it. It's just simple, and then it's just like scaling and repeating, and then it just comes into an investment game, right? How much you willing to invest, and the more you're willing to invest, the more you'll get back, right? Just like I remember I was in college in a class at a community college, and I was talking to this dude who invested in the stock market, and it was before Google went public. It's like Google's going public, it's a no-brainer. I'm like, yeah, you're right, it's a no-brainer, right? I agreed, he agreed, but like I wasn't willing to invest any money in it, right? And again, this was back in I think early 2000. Back in early 2000, Google wasn't public. Everyone used it, it just wasn't public, right? Like it was the search engine. Everyone knew it was a good investment. And yeah, he said it, I remember, and I was just like, yeah, absolutely. Just I wasn't willing to invest. I wasn't willing to go,
Yeah.
I mean, I just imagine what that would look like if I just went all in. I'm selling the car. That's it. I'm selling the car and buying Google, right? Because obviously it went well. So there's a lot of times people see a good investment, they're just not willing to go all in, right? And then once you really figure out the insurance agency building deal and how to do that, how to manage people, how to be good with people, then it's just a matter of how much you're willing to invest to find good people, to find more good people. So all right, cool. We got Lisa on here. Hey Lisa, good to see you. Also guys, another thing too, if you're on, we are going open invitation. This is a We Are Insurance Agents invitation. You don't have to be a licensed insurance agent. You don't have to be you don't have anything to do with me. We could never met, not even be friends. But a bunch of us are going to go to the Aspire event March 12th in Fort Lauderdale. I believe right now we got about 30 people signed up. I did contact the company. I said, hey, listen, can we do a We Are Insurance Agents group pricing? So they're going to give us 50% off. So if you're interested in that, put Aspire in the comments. If you're interested in that, put Aspire in the comments. Somebody will reach out to you, give you the booking link. Again, I have no connection with this at all. They just given us a group discount because I told them I could probably get 30 people to go. So they did give us 50% off. So we're getting the platinum tickets. They're normally $300. So you get the platinum tickets for $150. There'll be a lot of people from this group going. So is it Rebecca? Rebecca wants to go. So somebody reach out to Rebecca, get her the link, get her the coupon code. March 12th in Florida. So super excited. Spend some time in Fort Lauderdale. I got a lot of old friends I'm going to go see in Fort Lauderdale. So super excited about that. So, all right, cool. Let's talk about making some money. Let's talk about some production. So first off, $23,700 your first 30 days, which is absolutely amazing. So what are, if there's a new agent on here or an agent that's been an agent for a while, but hasn't issued $23,000 in 30 days, which is normal, right? There's a lot of people that haven't done that. The average agent at a large agency might do 3,000 a month, right? Our average agency at TPG, we do about 8,500 a month, so almost 3 times the normal average. But yeah, 23,000 is superstar, especially considering it's your first 30 days, right? I always say if you can do 20,000 a month consistently for a year straight, like you deserve to be a millionaire in this business. Then it's just a matter of doing that, getting comfortable doing that, and then moving forward. But what are some tips if somebody wants to do that you can give to help someone else do that?
Well, you can't just dip your toe in, first of all. You can't just, I understand, maybe someone has another job or something and they're trying to do it at night or on the weekends, but, you just don't have enough time doing it part-time to get like a full-time success. You're not going to get full-time success with part-time effort, right? So you got to be all in. That's how I did it.
All in.
If you were to talk to me before January about paying $100 a month for a thing on my computer to keep track of people, I would have told you you're freaking crazy. And that's ridiculous. I never paid something that expensive in my life, but I made a decision to go all in and just do it. And same thing with the dialer, $150 a month for a dialer. It allows me to do 700 plus dials, on a day where I don't get a lot of presentations in, and at least give myself a shot. Even a day where I do 6 hours of talk time, I can easily have 200, 300 dials just to get that much talk time, just always having someone on the phone. And
Cool. Let me pause you for a second. I just want to make sure. All right. So first of all, the thing that keeps track of leads, so we're calling that a CRM, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Okay. Now, it doesn't just keep track of leads. Would you say you said you spend $100 a month for that? Does that make you a return by any chance? Does it make you money, or is it just organizing? Or
so the one I got, the leads automatically go into it via like an API key, they call it. So it goes from a Google Sheet into my CRM, and the CRM, it organizes people by categories, either a new lead, or I can set an appointment, put them in an appointment category. And then, as each different category, the CRM will send them relative texts. So if they're a new lead, it'll send them texts. Hey, my name is Evan. It pretends it's me. Obviously, it's a robot sending the text out, but I know what they say. So it introduces me to the people as before I even get them on the phone, so that when I call and I say, hey, it's Evan, you should have got a text from me this morning. And they're like, oh, yeah. I remember. And then, I have some other information from the lead ticket that they filled out, so I can hit them with that. And then, they know me, they trust me. They submitted a thing for me to call them. And then, so if they're already looking into life insurance, a lot of times they're just ready to buy, and they just needed an agent to point them in the right direction.
So basically it's making you money though. So you make sales because of it. It helps you make sales, right?
Oh my God. Yeah. I would be, I don't know, that cartoon guy that spins around in a circle. That would be me. I forget, Wile E. Coyote or Tasmanian Devil. I would be him without a CRM.
Because I always got to point it out, and it, my mindset changed so much throughout the years. I mean, it's always changing, but it definitely changed a lot since I got into this business. It changes when when you could look back and you could see, like, what I mean? It's easy to, what do they say? Hindsight's 20/20, right? So like looking back, right? But like, yeah, same thing. It's like when you look at things, it's like, oh, that's an expense. But it's like, no, that thing actually makes me money. Like I spend $100 a month and it makes me like $3,000 a month. Yep. Right. So I always want to bring that up there. Right. So like understand that the correct CRM will not just organize leads for you, but it will also help you get people on the phone, help you with appointments, help them know who you are so they answer the phone. Right. So ultimately help you make money. And then you're talking about the dialer that you use, again, $150 a month, but would you make more or less without it, right? So again, that's something that also I believe completely pays for themselves. Because I hear new agents are like, oh my God, I gotta spend, because you said 150 plus 100, that's 250. You're like, oh man, $250 a month, that's like a whole nother bill. It's like, no, like spend $250 a month and you probably like 4 extra money. Yeah, like that's an extra like few sales a month that you weren't gonna get. Because I mean, you're saying you're getting 300 to 700 dials in a day.
It's more than a few extra sales a month. I mean, if I was dialing all these people by hand, I just can't imagine 100 calls would take all day. I mean, I could do 7 times that in less time with more talk time.
That's awesome. How many states are you in?
I just added 3. I had 9, so now I have 12.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so it's yeah. I mean, you don't have a crazy amount of states. I mean, you got something to work
Mhm.
with. So okay, that's awesome. All right, cool. So how do we do 23,000? So first off, you're talking about basically the tech stack, right? Having a CRM, having the dialer, to help you out. Okay, what are there some other things that you would give us some tips to some new agents listening? And guys, if you have any questions, throw the questions in here. We'll answer all the questions at the end. But get the questions in now so I can see them. We can be ready for them. So that way we can answer as many questions as we can for you. I also see, looks like Sam Smith is looking for Aspire too. So someone get with her, get her the link, so we could have more people. Should be super exciting. All right, Evan, you're up again.
I just did what I was told to do for success. I mean, I didn't. None of this is originally my ideas. I joined a group. I under my wife. My wife learned from other people. I learned a lot from my wife. I also every day we're on a virtual office together. So it's like a Zoom meeting where we have 20 to 40 people on the phone all day long with their cameras on, and one person at a time is usually unmuted presenting. So that's a good way to like get like live experience in. It's like kind of like a YouTube video, but it's with your coworkers, and you guys are all communicating, dealing with the objections together, kind of helping people out. So if you get stuck, someone's going to jump in with more experience and say, oh, do it like this, say it like this, ask them this. It's good for everything from helping spell medications. And speaking of the medications, another investment is like a quoter tool that we use. So it has a couple carriers hooked up to it. So I'm able to, when I get a lead, get a couple pieces of information about them, including their medications and their health history, like major conditions. And then that quoter tool will run programs through 6 companies and tell me like which app I can do and which app I can't do, and how much that's going to be. So, I mean, that saves, I don't know if anyone does this job without a tool like that, but if I had to go to Aetna's website and do a quote, and then go to Aetna's website and do a quote, and then, I mean, you can't do it like that. That would be ridiculous. You need a tool that's going to make your life easier. Just like with flooring, if you used a handsaw to cut planks and cut tile, you would never get a job done. A job would take you a month. If you have a wet saw hooked up to electricity, you do the job in a day. I mean, yeah, the saw is $700, but you got to invest money to make money, and that's always how I've thought about it.
It's funny. I was just saying the exact thing. I was just saying it's like doing a flooring job with a hacksaw versus with a water. I was gonna call it a water saw, a wet saw, but yeah, I definitely transported that thing around a bunch of times. But yeah, that's exactly it. Like it's just like, and again, it's crazy because now that I think about it, right? Again, like go back to construction. It's like, dude, like you got to buy tools. Like there's tools you have to buy, right? It's not a so if you really look at the tools that sell insurance, I mean it's way less, right? Way less. The cost is way less. I mean, dude, you could easily have $10,000-$20,000 worth of tools in like no time before you know it.
And you might be like you might be in the negative for like the first couple months of the first year, because I mean that's you. But then 2 or 3 years later, I mean everything's just exponentially building, and then you forget that you even spent all that money, and you're just making so much money.
Yeah, I mean, I just launched a new Airbnb in Cape Coral, Florida. But yeah, I mean, it probably cost me $20,000 in like furniture, right, and like silverware and glasses and coffee and pool toys, right, like just all that stuff. I got to go through and see how much it actually was, so I have my numbers. But yeah, and how long is it going to take before I get that investment back, right? Obviously, it's going to take some time. And then I had like one lady wanted to book, and she's like, "Hey, do you have beach chairs?" I'd love to book your place, but I need to have beach chairs. I'm like, "All right, we'll book and I'll buy beach chairs." And I'm looking, I'm like, the beach chairs are like $100, like the full chairs are like $80 each, $70-$80 each. I didn't realize that. And she's got coming with like 6 people, and I'm like, I'm not even going to make money on this actual booking with her. But again, it's like an investment, right? So now I got the chairs. So the next person that wants chairs, we got them. So, but yeah, it's that's it. You know, if you think about like any large company and the things that they have to do to get there, it becomes a no-brainer. So let's see. So Amber says if you sell 1 or 2 policies, that pays the CRM for the year, right? Yeah, real simple, right? 1 or 2 policies pay for the year. You got a whole year to figure out how to pay for it by selling 1 or 2 policies. Super simple. Jordan called you Mr. 10K a day, and and then Rita says glad the quarter tool is less than $700.
You know, that's another thing. The Mr. 10K a day thing. So before I even started selling, like I was manifesting this like for months, like for at least like 6 months, like before I got my license, just manifesting it, like just unafraid to fail, absolutely unafraid to fail. Just knowing that I could do absolutely anything. I can do it. I can make as much money as possible with the time I have, and just so that Mr. 10K a day, that's like my nickname in the group. And it's funny because I manifested that before I joined this group. And then once I got into our group, the leader of the group is like, hey, what would you guys' superhero nickname be? On the same day that I joined, he just so happened to ask for nicknames. And I already had manifested this nickname of Mr. 10K a day, because that's ultimately my goal. I want to make $10,000 a day. And whether that's by my own pen or with the help of eventually some agents underneath me, I've been thinking about it for a long time, and there's no going down. It's only going up. There's no excuses, no chance to fail.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely super simple. I mean, it was not simple, but doable, right? To do 10K a day, production or income, right? So it's just a matter of, again, if that's the goal, it's like, all right, so that's the goal. It really comes down to, getting leads works. That's what it comes down to, right? Whether it's production or income, doing $10,000 of production a day, is going to be, doing that with a team, right? Doing that with your own pen, that'll probably make you about $10,000 a day, right? So you're right there on the $10,000 a day at the same time, but more realistically, hiring a couple good agents, saving some floor guys' knees. That's what I'm gonna tell you right for now. And every time I talk to you, I was like, hey, you saved some floor guys' knees yet? But you get a few of those, you're submitting $10,000 a day, and then eventually that $10,000 a day could turn into like $50,000 a day, to where it's bringing you $10,000 cash a day, right? So, and I gotta do the math of how much production that would have to be. So probably be 100, maybe 100K a day. It'd be a lot, but hey, it's someone else done it, so you could do it for sure. So awesome. All right, so what are some other tips that you have for issuing $23,000 over $23,700 first 30 days?
I mean, just activity. You're not going to have a $3,000 or $4,000 day every day, but as long as you keep your activity up, and like I was told, and that's what I did. Don't get discouraged. Obviously you can't take any days off. Sunday, maybe, you could take a Sunday off, but Monday to Saturday activity, at least, for the working hours. Me personally, I am on in our virtual call center at 8 a.m. and I'm there till 8 p.m. I go eat lunch and go to the bathroom, and sometimes we take a walk, but there's a good 8 to 9 hours a day where I'm on the phone and making dials. If I'm not on the phone, I'm watching YouTube videos, watching other guys who are successful, see their advice, trying to learn from other people who have done it. Guys who have written 500K, in their first year. I mean, that's my goal. I want to do on my own pen 500K in the first year. And, I'm not going to do that just by manifesting it, right? I got to still learn. I got to still put the reps in. I got to still get the activity in. And I got to still make the investments of all my tools.
That's awesome. What does Amber think about all this? Because like you said, you guys kind of switched roles at some point. She must be super proud. definitely proud. But what is? Do you guys have conversations about it? Was she surprised? Is
The only
she
thing we
knew?
talk about. I mean, it's the only thing we do. It's the only thing we talk about. Is just it's our life. Right now is just building this business, learning how to do it first, and getting good at it, and then eventually teaching other people how to do the same thing. And after once we get through a full year, I'm very confident that the success and the numbers will speak for themselves, and we'll have other people asking questions. I'm sure even before a year, people will be asking questions. Hey, how you doing this? What's going on? Like, how's it going? But yeah, I have a quote. When the Eagles won the Super Bowl, their coach got interviewed and he said, "You can't be great without the greatness of others." I mean, there's no way that I would be able to do even 10% of anything that I do without, her. I mean, she enables me to do, everything I've done in January and February. And I think it's hard for her to give the majority of the work to me for multiple reasons. She's a workhorse, and she wants to, if we could take care of the kids and, both work 24/7 and sleep and work and take care of the kids and eat at the same time. I mean, we would do all those things, but there's only so much time in the day, and we're only two people. So
She says maternity leave loading over here, so maybe she does enjoy the vacation.
mhm, mhm,
So she says very proud wife over here. So awesome, man.
mhm.
All right, guys. I don't see any questions. We're about to bow out here for get going. So if any quick questions, throw them in the chat. If not, Evan, what is last little tip, last little thing? If you want to say anything, anyone, touch anyone, anything on your mind?
Do whatever you can to build your confidence. That confidence is going to push out the fear. You can't be fearful if you're going to work for yourself at all in any business.
I like that. So do anything you can to build the confidence so you can push out the fear. That makes perfect sense, because I always say that I always focus on dollars, right? Dollars, because I'm focused on getting experience, right? The experience is going to build the confidence, and the confidence. I never said it that way, but the confidence pushes out fear, right? If you're confident, you're not fearful. But you need to get confident, and you can't get confident without going to work. And that's something that you're doing at a high level. I mean, the amount of activity you're getting is insane, right? But your results are also insane. So like makes sense, right? So it's like, all right, cool. So I just need insane activity, have insane results. So stop down the phone 30 times a day, right?
There's no cheat code. The dialer doesn't make people more likely to pick up. The CRM, maybe the CRM does, because it sends them texts and it always annoys them and says, "Hey, it's Evan. Hey, it's Evan. Have you thought about this? Hey, did you get the information?" So maybe that helps a little, but there's no cheat code. I mean, the chances of them calling you are still pretty low, even with good leads. I mean, you got to call them. You got to annoy them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you got to put the work in. So awesome, guys. So one last time, again, we'll be in Fort Lauderdale March 12th for the Aspire event. Gary Vaynerchuk's going to be speaking at it. Cody Sanchez is going to speak at it. Tim Story is going to be speaking at it. And here we go. A question came. So what did your schedule look like in the month that you issued 23,000?
That month I was calling people on Sundays and getting, "Hey, do you know it's a Sunday?" Click. Hey, well, I called you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and you didn't answer. And you answered on a Sunday. So I did work a couple Sundays in January. And same thing, in January, I was on Zoom at 7 o'clock, doing trainings, learning how to use my CRM, getting integrated with that, setting up what they call smart lists. I mean, there's a lot that goes into like a CRM and a dialer. There's a big learning curve. So I was on at 7 in the morning with, people that know more than me. I was picking their brains. We were having conversations, learning how the CRM works. I don't work 12 hours straight. Like I said, I like to take a walk. I like to get fresh air. But if I'm not sitting around, I'm never watching TV. I don't watch the news at night. I'm not scrolling through, any kind of Twitter or Facebook. If I'm awake, I'm either working or I'm thinking about working, and I'm trying to get done whatever else I'm doing, whether it's eating or sleeping. I'm just trying to get back to working and just trying to get the activity in as much as possible. Trying to get better with 1% better every day. I listened to the book,
better every day.
the audio book, Atomic Habits, and I got a couple things out of it. If you improve everything by 1% every day, the aggregate result of marginal change, before you know it, it's like that 1% of that one little last thing pushes you over the edge. And everybody might think, oh, he got lucky. Oh, just overnight success. But it's like 1% better in every category, 1% better with every phone call, 1% better every day with doing more phone calls, 1% better with doing like trainings and watching YouTube videos and just having a good mental state about it. If you just do 1% better every day and everything, I mean, you're not going to get any worse. You can only get better. Success will be inevitable.
That's probably one of my favorite books. It's definitely my top 5, Atomic Habits, and it's. I think in the beginning of that book they talk about somebody that has like a glass of wine before bed every night, and then someone like cuts some slight calories, and then one reads some self-help books and one doesn't, and then they bring that over a time period. It's like one person's a beast and the other person's not. It was just that small little thing over time, right? So super cool. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, appreciate everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Again, if you're interested in going to the Aspire event, throw something in the comments. We'll find you. It's gonna be in Fort Lauderdale. Gary Vaynerchuk, Cody Sanchez, bunch of other people speaking, and I think about 30 people from the We Are Insurance Agent Facebook group are going. So that's gonna be super cool. Thank you so much, Evan. Appreciate you jumping on. I know it was a last minute ask on you, man, but someone recommended that I ask you because they said Evan's been crushing it. They told me, so they said definitely would love to hear from you and what you're doing and how you're doing it, man. So great job, man. Great job with everything. Good luck with the baby. Super excited for you guys. And if there's anything I could ever do to help you out, please reach out to me. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome. So, all right, guys, take care. Have a good night. And thanks again. All right, cool. All right, we're not live. Great job, man. You crushed it. So I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, that'll be in the face group. So, throw some stuff in there, right? If people ask comments in there, you want people to know how to find you. So what I would do is when you get some time, go through like the comments that people put in there and like try to reply to some comments.
Okay.
And then also the more comments you reply to, the more like keep that video on the top. So people will see your video and hopefully watch it and reach out to you and want to come work with you.
Cool.
All right, brother. Thanks so much, man. Keep killing it, dude. Super proud of you, man. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. See ya.
Yeah, bye.